it into perspective, when you reflect on a station after station, right, when Jesus is in your mind constantly throughout that 45-hour workout, it's amazing the extra lengths that you can go. When you're tired, when it's that plank, and you swear that it's a minute 30's gone, and Coach Cypher says 45 seconds, you're like, how in the world am I going to make another minute 15? And then you think about Jesus up there on the cross, and I think it's really great when you put it into perspective what he went through for us. Right, for us, for our eternal life, for our salvation, for the chance to live in heaven someday forever. Right, he did that for us 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago. I mean, it's amazing what he did then and how, Christianity has sustained and thrived, throughout time. It's awesome, and there's only one reason, and that's Jesus and God. And so, I know you guys are hot, you guys are tired today. I'm the same thing. Give me 5 minutes. I ask you to pay attention, really lock in what I'm saying for 5 minutes, and then I'll take any questions you guys got. So what I want to say to you today, if you remember nothing else today, is I want you to remember how important it is to keep your priorities in order. Right? And your priorities should be faith, number 1, family, number 2, school, number 3, and then sports and football, number 4. And that's something that when I was growing up in your age, I tried to keep my priorities in order. When I was in college, I did the same thing, and now I try to do the same thing. I'm constantly checking myself. Hey, if I say I want to keep faith and family above football, but I'm in a close facility for 12 hours a day, and I don't take 5 minutes at night to thank God for everything that He's blessed me with, are my priorities in order, or are they getting out of whack? And I found that life, throughout my life, when things have gotten rocky, when things have gotten hard, when I'm like, why is everything happening against me? What's going on? I can look back and be like, you know what? I wasn't giving God the time He needed. I wasn't spending time daily in prayer with Jesus. I wasn't giving my wife the time that she deserves. I wasn't spending enough time with my kids. I was living selfishly for myself. But faith is number 1. Your relationship with God, your relationship with Jesus is the most important relationship you'll ever have. Even more so than your relationship with your wife someday. Because if you're not right with God, you can't be right with your family. And so every morning we should thank God for the day, and every night before you go to bed, thank God for 3 things that happened to you that day. There's a million things we can be thankful for, but I know there's at least 3. Even on the bad days, right? You're thankful that you got up and you're breathing, and you get to go to school, and you saw your buddy, and you got to go to football practice, and you only have a half hour homework instead of an hour. You can always think of 3 things to be thankful for. Right? So faith is number 1. Family is number 2. Your mom, dad, your aunt, uncle, grandma, whoever you live with, brothers and sisters, they love you very much. They sacrifice a lot, just like my parents did, to take you to all your baseball games, to take you to all your football games, to take you to and from school. Your brothers and sisters have a special bond. Who here's got younger sisters? Raise your hand. All right. I had 2 younger sisters, right? And I was an honorary boy growing up, and I was really mean to my 2 younger sisters. And I regret it now. And now I'm like, hey, I can spend the next 50 years of my life being nice to you girls, because I kind of, put you through some heck when you were growing up. So you got younger sisters to be nice to them, right? But your family, the people that love you, the people that care about you, that should be your second most important priority. You should take the time to reflect on that and take the time to tell your parents you love them. When you get home today, give your mom a hug, tell her you love her, shake your dad's hand, tell her you love him. That's very, very important. That's something I don't think we do enough, especially as men, right? We're all masculine, guys, and we don't want to tell our sister that we love them. We don't want to tell our brother that we love them. We don't want to tell mom and dad that we love them. But as I've gotten older, something I realized I didn't say enough, and it's something that you can't say enough. So when you get home today, like I said, give your mom a hug, tell her you love her. You got faith, family, school. Right? Everybody hears, school is important, it's more important than football, and everybody says that, right? I can understand it can kind of be, background noise sometimes, but it's so true. I played in the NFL 8 years. I'm very, very, very blessed. If you're a high school football player, your chances of playing college football is less than 2%. If you're a college football player, your chance of playing the league is less than 1%. And you guys are lucky, right? You got great role models here, guys from Roncalli that have made it. Jason Warner and Pat Newman, I know both those guys. Great guys. Great examples. If you put your mind to anything and work, you can do whatever you want to do. But I'm 30 years old, like I said, I played 8 years. My career could be over tomorrow. And it's going to be what I learned in school that's going to sustain me for the rest of my life. So I think school is very important. I graduated, I was academic All-MAC 3 years out of 4 years. The only reason I wasn't the 4th year is because you couldn't do it as a freshman. I was a 2-time academic All-American. And I'll never brag about anything that I've done on the playing field, but I am very proud of the fact that an academic All-American college basketball, you know, there's 5,000 or so Division I athletes. They pick 5 for the first team, 5 for the second team, 5 for the third team, academic All-American. In my junior year, I was first team academic All-American. My senior year, I was second team academic All-American. I took an accounting class that summer to a senior year and probably didn't give it the best effort, got a B instead of A, and then dropped me from the first team to the second team the next year. But regardless, that's the proudest accomplishment I have in my entire life. Because I wasn't just doing it lip service that I was going to go to class and do my homework and try really hard in school. I actually was doing that and trying to give that the same effort that I was giving my basketball team workouts on a daily basis. So you got faith, family, school, and finally the last one is sports, right? And sports is fun. Football is supposed to be fun. I think sometimes we get caught up in the pressures of, well, I want to play varsity, you know, I want to start, I want to do this, I want to try to get a college scholarship. The reason you guys all started playing football when you were young was because it was fun, right? You guys probably went to what, St. Jude, St. Barnabas? You guys think of those schools growing up? Holy Name. What's that, Holy Name? Right? You guys all play CYO football, right? You're 34, you know, 56, cadet, you play all the way. Why are you playing? Because it's fun. You're playing with your boys. It's the same thing about high school football. I love Sunday afternoons at Lucas Oil Stadium. You run out of that tunnel, it's a special, special feel. But you know what? It ain't nothing like playing Friday night under the lights. I'm just telling you. My favorite memories of football is up at Hamilton Southeastern because you're playing with your boys. Guys you've known since kindergarten, first grade, you've grown up with them. You play with them for 5, 10, 12 years. You're sweating with them in hot wrestling rooms like this, right? It's amazing. When I started doing this workout, you know, usually my workouts I go to a gym and I'm, you know, a personal trainer and we do one-on-one workout, which is a lot of guys in the NFL doing the off-season. But it's amazing when I got back here, the memories of being back at HSC and being in a hot wrestling room, you know, the coach is beating you down. You're like, what in the world? You know, I can't go, I can't go. And then you hear your buddies start yelling real loud and clapping and encouraging you. Those are the good memories. These will be the ones that when you're 30, 35, 40, you know, 50, 60, you'll go back to and you'll remember. So enjoy this and cherish this because number one, it's supposed to be fun. And the last thing I'll tell you about sports is, and I'm a firm believer in this, there's no substitute for hard work. There's absolutely none. You can accomplish whatever you want to do. And I believe I'm living proof of that. I went to Hamilton Southeastern, I was a freshman, played on the freshman team. I was a sophomore, started on the JV team, played a little bit of varsity. My junior year I started varsity, my senior year I started varsity. I wasn't some, you know, all-star great player. Basketball, same. I was on the B team in 8th grade basketball. But I kept working hard. I got a little bit bigger. I wasn't blessed by the good Lord to have some size, but I watched a lot of guys that were just as good as me. You know, they started doing other things. They started chasing girls, and they started going out partying and drinking, and they kind of fell by the wayside, and I just kept plowing straight ahead. And there's a lot of guys out there right now sitting at home that are a lot more talented than me, that are watching our games on Sunday. But I just kept my head down, and I kept working and working and working. I'm leaving the story real quick. It's one of my favorite all-time stories. I have no idea if it's true or not, but I heard it once a long time ago and I love it. So who knows who Socrates is? Anybody? Who's Socrates? Yell it out. Ancient Greek philosopher, right? Arguably the wisest man of all time. So there's a story, there's a young boy, about 12 years old. He goes to see Socrates one day. He says, Mr. Socrates, what is the key to success? Socrates says, you know the river right down the road? The boy says, yeah. He goes, meet me there in the morning, and I'll tell you what the key to success is. So the boy's all excited, right? He goes home, he can't even sleep because he's jacked up. He's like, I ain't the wisest man ever going to tell me what the key to success is. So the boy wakes up in the morning, gets up early, goes down the river. He's there like an hour early. Finally, Socrates, you know, comes sauntering in. Socrates says, you ready? The boy says, takes the boy's hand, they start walking into the river. They're walking in, water's about knee high. They keep going, all of a sudden the water's up to their waist. The boys are wondering, what's going on? Socrates says, come on, keep going. Keep walking, all of a sudden the water's up to his chest, the water gets up to his shoulders. Right, Socrates takes both his hands, puts them on the boy's neck, and pushes him underwater. And he's holding him there. And the boy is struggling like heck to get out, thrashing around. Socrates, you know, the ancient Greeks, they were a big, strong group of men. The boy can't get up. 20 seconds pass, 25, 30. The boy's struggling. He's thinking he's going to die right there in that river. Socrates has still got his hands on his shoulders. Finally, he lets up, pulls the boy out of the water. The boy starts gasping. We struggling for air. Finally, after a couple minutes, Socrates pulls the boy and they walk out of the water. He says, son, when you were under that water, what did you want more than anything else in the world? The boy says, I wanted air. Socrates says, when you want success as bad as you wanted that air, you'll have it. There is no other key. Like I said, I have no idea if that story is true or not, but I mean, if Socrates was there in 400 BC and it's still around 2,400 years later, it probably is. But I love that story, right? I love that story because you can do whatever you want to do. You can be as good as you want to do as long as you're going to work for it. Raise your hand if you want to play D1 football someday. And that's okay if you don't. Okay, put your hands down. Now, what if I told you you can play Division I football? You got to sign a contract today, and all you got to do is go to class, you're going to go to practice, and every day, 365 days out of the year, you got to go to the stadium and run stairs for an hour. Every day, 365, 4 years high school. Now still wants to play D1 football. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you can do whatever you want to do, you really can. You just got to decide for it, and you got to want it. And when you want something bad enough, like that boy wanted there, you'll get it. Guys, thank you for your attention. It's amazing. You know, whenever I talk, I always look and see who's the team to make an eye contact with, right? Because if you're listening with your eyes, I know you're listening with your ears. And you guys are rock solid. And I can do a lot of credit for that. I know it's hot, and I know you're tired. I appreciate you talking to me. I know I went over my 5 minute, probably window of time there. Like I said, remember nothing else today. Faith, family, school, and sports. And we got a great chance this weekend to exercise our faith. I know you guys got school tomorrow and you get out on a half day. Why do you guys get out of school on a half day? Go to Good Friday service, right? Don't go home and play Xbox all afternoon. And Easter Sunday, you'll make it to Matt. I love Easter Sunday, right? I was texting my priest of Our Lady, my Carmel Lady, we were talking about, he's like, this is Super Bowl week for us. Right? Holy Thursday, Good Friday, the Easter Vigil, Easter Sunday. You know, this is the Super Bowl for the Catholic Church. So really embrace that. You have a lot of time this weekend to reflect on what we did today, reflect on Jesus, the amazing grace that Jesus has, you know, that gives us every day, and really be thankful because, you know, man, we got a million things to be thankful for. We're all really blessed. So appreciate you guys looking out for me. What time we got, Coach?
It's 5:24.
5:24. All right, I got about 5 minutes or so. I'll take questions, and I got to get back up to the north side to head to Mass with my wife. So if anybody's got questions, fire away. It can be about anything, football, whatever. I was there in 2009, or 2008, 2009, so I was there a couple years before. So I was there 2 years before they won the Super Bowl. I came to the Bulls 2 years after they won the Super Bowl. So bad timing for me. Hopefully I still got a few more years and can give me the ring before I'm done playing. Hardest D line. You know, the answer is everybody, right? Every week there's some stud on the other edge. And the NFL is, there's no bye weeks, there's no weeks off. And so, obviously you play Houston, they got Jadavian Clowney and J.J. Watt. You go and play the Domkins in Miami this year. I mean, unbelievable, these Pro Bowl guys. But every week, there's some badass D linemen, some bad D linemen, some bad defensive end over there. So every week you got to prepare, and every week you got to bring it. That's what's great about the NFL, but that's what makes it tough.
I feel when you hear that sorry for
How did I feel when I was going to start my first game? Really nervous, probably like you guys. You know, I was nervous in high school, I was nervous in college, I'm still nervous now. I think nerves are good. I think it's something that you're going to have a certain level of nervousness every game. But I talked to a sports psychologist once. He said, you don't want to eliminate those butterflies you have, you want them to fly in formation. So take that, control that positive energy and use it to your advantage. So, you know, I'm always nervous. So during, before games, a lot of guys listen to music, crazy rap and rock and get all fired up. I kind of just put my headphones on and don't listen to anything. I just reflect and kind of stay calm, because I know when I run out of the tunnel, you're going to have, all kinds of adrenaline going. So I try to stay as calm as I can so that I can go out and just execute, play after play after play. Is it cool to be a teammate? Andrew, yeah, Andrew's a great guy. He's obviously a great quarterback. He's a super humble guy. He's a lot of fun off the field. He's kind of a little bit nerdy, but he kind of owns it, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't have an iPhone, he's still got his flip phone, and likes to read books. And he's not reading like everyday books, he's reading books about, like architecture and stuff like that. But Andrew's a great guy, great quarterback, and he treats us linemen really well and takes us out to nice state dinners all the time, so that's always good. Best memory in the NFL, probably 2 years ago when we beat Denver in the playoffs. That year I started a couple games at guards, a couple games at tackle, but I was starting to hit my 4th game at right tackle during that season. We go out to Denver, they got DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller out there. Those who watch the Super Bowl, know how good those guys are. But we went out there and we were playing against Dayton and we beat the Broncos and we got to the AFC Championship game. And you talk about a fun game and a hostile environment, but by the end of middle of the 4th quarter, it was dead silent there. You could start hearing the Colts fans cheer, "Let's go Blue." And so that's probably my favorite game, that I've ever played.
What's hardest hit you got?
Hardest hit? I'd probably take you back to Baltimore. I was in 08, 09, I'm on the practice squad, right? So the practice squad is like you're running the scout team, you're running the guards. So every week I'm playing against Melody Nada at guard, or Terrell Suggs, a defensive end, and you all know who the Mike linebacker in the middle is, Ray Lewis. So I took a fair amount of beatings for a couple of years, but I got whooped a bunch, but it also made me a lot tougher and made me into a better player. So, well guys, I want to say thanks again for letting me come out. I'll keep an eye out for you guys. I'm glad to get down here. I live up in Zionsville and I do a decent amount. I love to get to Catholic schools and be able to talk to guys about faith and family and football, but I tend to be in Garrett and Chittard and Cathedral, all these north side schools. So I'm glad I see you shake your head, that's okay. I'm glad I got south here at 465 and got in, really guys are tough. When I was growing up and stuff, it was always funny to me, because when you talk about Roncalli, they'd always talk about, I played AU basketball, I'm like, oh, we're playing some team from the south side. Well, they got so-and-so from Southport, so-and-so from Perry. You'd be like, yeah, well, they got 3 Roncalli kids on the team. And I always see them, like, oh, shoot, you're in for a battle. That's your guys' reputation, a bunch of just blue-collar, tough players that bring it week in and week out. And it's the first time I met you, coach, but I always had a ton of respect for your teams because I always thought that you guys played hard and you epitomize what it is to be tough. So my challenge, continue to live up to that reputation, that the guys before you around Roncalli have set. Because that's, to me, that's what you're known around the city. That's what you're known around, to us, wealthy Carmelites. You guys probably make fun of us and get mad at it. You guys are the tough, like the blue-collar tough Roncalli kids. And so, I encourage you to live up to that reputation, embrace that, and I wish you the best this year. And I'll be checking my phone every Saturday morning, seeing how you guys are doing. All right, thanks, guys.